of the Collins Company's Vendor Spotlight. Today we have with us Mr. Paul Cusalito from Anvil International, who's going to talk about a couple of their key products and also the proper installation practices of each. Without further ado, Mr. Paul Cusalito.
Today I'd like to discuss the SideLok coupling, our ready for installation coupling, its features and benefits, as well as the proper installation technique.
So Paul, I'm excited to see how this is going to come together today. I know that there's a couple other groove couplings that are in the market. Love to hear a little bit more about groove lock and how they're a little bit different. First, if you want to start with, differences between a coupling.
Okay. The SideLok Ready for installation coupling. It is the most rigid ready for installation coupling in the marketplace, and that is due in fact to the tongue and groove pad design, this being the tongue and this being the grooved side of that.
Is that different than other people then?
Yes, that differs by virtue of that tongue and groove design as opposed to what is also available in the marketplace. This display here is of an offset angle pad design.
Oh, I see. So that tongue and groove really kind of locks it in.
Yeah, you fully engage 360-degree engagement in the bottom of the roll groove, okay? As opposed to more likely some point contact around the circumference of that design.
Okay.
Never fully engaged completely in the bottom of the groove with this design.
Okay, perfect. So can you show me how these are installed?
Sure. Yeah. Before I discuss the installation, I'd like to point out the uniqueness of this gasket. It does have a four-seal pressure responsive design, and in fact there's 4 separate sealing touch points internal to this gasket, which seal the gasket to the pipe, as well as a unique leading edge that eliminates pinching on that slide application, okay? So the reason this is called a SideLok coupling is its ability to slip and or slide long and beyond the groove location, okay? And the benefit of that is, among other things, it allows you to visually see the made-up of another piece of pipe or a fitting to ensure that you're in alignment. Additionally, it is well received by the contractors who use it for its prefabrication and service and repair capabilities. So instead of the need to remove this coupling to break into a system to make a repair or an adjustment, you simply slide that down the line to open up that system. And every coupling, in fact, functions as a union.
Okay, so you slide this coupling on, locks into the grooves, then what?
So we'll slide that coupling into place, ensuring that the keyways of this coupling housing are over the groove locations. Hand tighten the nuts. And with an impact wrench, equally and alternately tighten. Tighten the housing to achieve our visual indicator, which is that gap, an equal gap on both sides, and that ensures that our fit up is proper.
Now,
okay.
Why did you can't just crank it down on one side and then crank it down on the other?
No, it's very important to equally and alternately tighten so that we don't over tighten one side. It's important to achieve this equal gap at both pads. And that gapping dimension is really a function of the tolerances of pipe, which may perhaps be from 2 different sources, or a piece of pipe and a fitting from my factory that may be at the high end or the low end of a tolerance, and that really determines that gap. Now, I'll add to that if these housing pads were metal to metal, pad to pad, upon tightening, it may be an indication that your groove depth is too deep. Okay, but with this, we know that we're appropriate, we're proper with the fit up. Again, this rigid connection is created by the gasket over the ends, okay, of both sticks of pipe, the system pressure or vacuum, and this housing, basically this housing compressing the gasket, and then that internal pressure or vacuum.
Well, that's it for this episode of Vendor Spotlight. Paul, thanks for being here today. Appreciate the education on installation practices and key design differences. Remember, if you like what you see, folks, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and go ahead and leave us a note in the comments section as to other products or topics you'd like to know a little bit more about. Until next time, stay safe.